Oh, hi, Mama. Welcome to the Manifesting Motherhood podcast. My name is Jessie LeVay-Count, and I'm a certified life and fertility coach who specializes in the art of using manifestation to call your babies home. I'm obsessed with helping you fall back in love with yourself, step into your power, say yes to your best life, and manifest the family of your dreams. If you're trying to conceive, and you want to learn how to manifest not only your pregnancy, but a life full of laughter and adventure and beautiful memories with your babies, then you have come to the right place. My goal on this podcast is to help you see that you are meant for motherhood and provide you with the tools, strategies, resources, and support you need to step into your mama energy and bring your baby home. This podcast will serve as your weekly dose of fertile girl energy and the mindset work you need to quantum jump into your mama timeline. We're going to have an absolute blast, and thank you so much for hitting that play button today. Let's make some magic and make some babies. Welcome back to the Manifesting Motherhood podcast, where we are building a movement to radically shift how women conceive their babies from a place of self-love, so much expansion, way less force, and just living their best lives. It's where we get to have the most fun, and that's when we get pregnant, is when we're having the most fun. So I am so thrilled, Mama, that you are here today. Ooh, this is a very, very important thing to understand. The topic of today's episode. It's definitely something I don't think landed for me until I started to put it into practice. And so I'm going to be talking to you guys about this today, as we are like one of the things that's really popular on like TikTok about manifestation is called quantum leaping or quantum jumping. And we definitely have quantum jumping season inside Manifesting Motherhood. That's my Becoming Mama. That's my quantum jumping course. So I always love to do this in like the spring and summer, because we've got this new energy on its way. Things are blooming. The seeds are sprouting. New life is just the freaking vibe. Fertility is everywhere. Fertility is everywhere we look. Everything is coming to life. Everything is coming to fruition. And it's the perfect time for a quantum leap. Yes. And if you're curious about quantum jumping for manifesting your baby, I'm going to be doing a whole episode on that so soon, so stay tuned for that. But one of the foundational pieces of manifesting your baby, or anything like that for that matter, or quantum jumping, or any of that, is this: you don't manifest what you want. You don't just manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. So in that is something really, really important. Today's episode is a foundational one for the manifestation approach to bringing your baby home. And I'll tell you what, all of the manifestation techniques and tips and tricks in the world will not work for you if you are not willing to look at, scrutinize, and shift what you believe to be true about baby making and about the world as a whole. So when I say you manifest who you are is comprised of your beliefs, your thoughts, your dominant emotional state, and your repeated actions. And this runs the show. And you've likely heard me or someone talk about subconscious reprogramming, and this is exactly what we're talking about. All right? So like, who are you being? Because that is what is manifesting for you. And it's changeable. It's malleable. We can change it anytime. And just for like a real life example, if you believe that like all rich people are assholes and you don't want to be an asshole because being an asshole or a jerk is something that is bad to you, you will not let yourself be wealthy. Just purely from a practical perspective even, because you don't want to be a jerk. It doesn't align with your beliefs or your value system about what is right and wrong. You will continue to like close yourself off to like opportunities for economic advancement. And if you do run into any excess cash, you will burn through it so fast so that you don't have to hold it, so you don't have to be a jerk. And you've likely seen these kinds of things happening with your friends throughout your life. Like that one friend who has low self-worth, so she keeps attracting shitty guys on Hinge because she doesn't believe she's worthy of a good man. Same kind of deal. And we all have different beliefs regarding different subjects, different areas of life. And with regard to baby making, It might be different than your beliefs when it comes to your finances. It might be different than your beliefs like when it comes to love or relationships, but inside baby making, your sneaky beliefs that don't actually match what you want might sound like, oh, it's so hard to get pregnant, but I'll love my baby even more or even better because of what I've had to go through. Like, raise your hand if you've said that. And in this, you believe with all your heart and soul that it must be hard to get pregnant or you won't love your baby enough, and you will not let yourself do that. So it has to be hard for you. It has to be hard. Or it might sound like, I just feel like I have to do everything perfectly to get pregnant. I have to work really hard and then it will all be worth it. And this is a big one I see, and one I had to navigate myself too, is this hard work equals outcome kind of thing where, my dad always told me growing up that nothing worth having was easy to get. And like, okay, so that's why I make everything really hard, because it's not worth it if it's not hard, right? Or it might come out and sound like it's so easy for everyone else, but not for me. Or I probably don't deserve to be a mother, and that's why it hasn't happened yet. Or my body is so broken, I'm not surprised it hasn't happened yet, and it never will. Whatever you believe about this whole thing and the way that it works, you get to be right. Your brain and the universe have this in common. They don't want you to be wrong. Like, they're not going to work to prove you wrong, especially your brain. Your brain is not going to work to prove you wrong. It's only going to work to prove you right, because you being right is your greatest sense of safety. And the sad thing is that, like, I'm not saying you can't get pregnant this way. Women certainly do. But, like, the sad part of this is that they continue, like, they go on and continue to struggle with anxiety and depression and lack of confidence during their pregnancy and their early motherhood years. It robs them of that joy that they were so looking forward to, because they never interrupted the belief pattern that they held. To me, in my experience, just this is me personally, that was unacceptable. I was unwilling to accept that my pregnancy and my motherhood experience would look like that, would feel like that. And mamas, I love you so much, but the patterns and beliefs about yourself and the way that the world works for you, quote unquote works, they don't magically disappear once you see 2 pink lines. The only way to change them is to decide that they no longer serve you, and to begin the process of releasing, rewriting, and rewiring new beliefs in their place. And so the way that we do this is by getting clear on what your beliefs are about the subject of baby making and in other areas of your life. At this time, do you believe it all works out for you? Like, everything works out for you? Are you someone who always gets the shit end of the stick? Do things never work out for you? Are you always waiting for the other shoe to drop? Do you feel like this must be hard to do or you didn't earn your baby? Get super clear on these beliefs that are operating just under the surface. And then see all of the ways that they're not true. Not true for you, not true for others, but go and gather evidence about why they're not true. And then decide to see things differently. Give yourself permission to rewrite that thought. Like, literally write out the new belief you want to build, and make sure it's what you really want. Your beliefs manifest, so be conscious of what you're building. Like, a good example of a new belief is not, I will get pregnant this cycle. Like, do you honestly, like, look at me, girl. Do you really believe that? With your whole heart and soul, nobody could argue it with you. No one. As certain as you know your height or your eye color, if somebody walked up to you and you have brown eyes and they said, ha, you have ugly blue eyes, you look crazy, you would laugh at them and be like, no, I don't. My eyes are brown. Like, just the simple, like, easy knowing. Do you know that you will get pregnant this cycle? No. Right? Like, so an example of, like, a new belief, one of the ones that I super duper love, is, like, I am the one who is meant to mother this baby. Like, this is inevitable for me. Motherhood is inevitable for me, and there are no wrong moves. I couldn't fuck this up if I tried. That, to me, is one of my core beliefs. Another one of my core beliefs is, like I said, I think at the beginning of this episode, I said, whenever I'm having the most fun is when I get pregnant. I get pregnant when I'm having the most fun. Like, this is what I really want for my life. This is what I want for my whole life, you know? So deciding to see those things differently, rewriting that thought, and then experience the new belief. Experience it. So, for example, if you rewrite the belief, my body is broken, into my body is a freaking powerhouse and it always works perfectly to create my baby's very first home, open your notes app and keep track of all of the shit that your body is doing well and functioning correctly throughout the day. Build a case for your new belief. Work one at a time if you need to. And feel into how good it feels that your belief is proving true. Emotion is everything. It is so powerful. It is literally your manifestation guidance system that is built in. Give yourself a smile. Let that giddy joy fill you up. Yes! As you are building those new beliefs. So we dive into this much, much deeper inside the Manifesting Motherhood Academy. That's my 4-month group coaching program where I lead you through my 3 core baby manifesting courses. We do it together, and we also have a party every Sunday, and we've got a Hop and Voxer chat where I'm in there every single day hyping you the fuck up, and you just stay plugged into this mentorship. You stay plugged into this energy. You don't have a chance to go any other direction. Life just gets real good real fast. So I'll put the link in the show notes, but don't sign up if you are not ready for life to get really good really fast. So be sure that you're staying consistent with this too. Be unwilling to go back to the old story. Keep practicing the new one. Keep experiencing and feeling into the new one. Because like, you're building new neural pathways here. Give it a fucking hot second to work its way in. Stay with it for 30 days. Do a few beliefs, 1 to 2 to 3 at a time. And slow and steady is huge progress. And you start to see your manifestations flood in at a rapid pace. So not just the baby, but, you know, the support system for the baby. You manifest better friends. You manifest better financial support. You manifest a better marriage or partnership. I'm so serious. Go grab a pen, re-listen to this if you need to, commit to this process for 30 days, and watch your life start to change before your eyes. Stretch yourself, mama. You can do this. It is so, so worth it to challenge all of the thoughts you think are absolute truths. I am here to tell you that they are not. The truth is that you are fucking limitless and you are meant for motherhood. Full stop. This desire was placed on your heart because you were meant to experience it in this lifetime. And you get to decide that. And you've already been lying to yourself for so long, telling yourself that you're unworthy, undeserving, and a failure, and blah, blah, blah. These new stories may feel foreign, but stay with it and keep practicing. You're already telling yourself a crazy story swinging in the other direction. Why not tell yourself a story swinging in the direction of what it is that you want? Your current truths took a lot of time to build when you weren't actively focused on them. So give yourself this month to put the power of your focus where you actually want it, on your baby coming home. Get excited. It is all unfolding. Remember who the fuck you are. Remember who you are. It is all unfolding for you. Oh, I love you so much. Like I said, re-listen to this message. If you are ready for life to get real good real fast and to manifest your baby easily, and while you are having the fucking time of your life, check out the Manifesting Motherhood Academy. I will put it in the show notes. If you want to work with me closer and have me as your personal baby manifesting coach every single day, right there in your back pocket, Manifesting Motherhood Academy is for you. So, beautiful baby makers, over the course of this episode, you have got to know my process for rewriting beliefs under your belt, because you do not manifest what you want, you manifest who you are. So who are you being? Who are you being? Are you being that mama? Are you being her? You know, like, are you feeling the emotions that motherhood you would feel? You know what I mean? So go out and do it. If this resonated with you and it hit home, this is your sign to actually do it. Don't just save this and never crack open that journal. It is time, mama. It is your time. It is your turn. Let's do this. Okay, so if you have questions for me that you would like me to dive into on this podcast, down in the show notes, there is a website called SpeakPipe. I've left a link to it, and you can record an audio message for me there. And I will be working my way through some of those questions to answer on these podcast episodes. And if you have found this helpful, if this has created some big shifts for you, I would love it if you would leave a review on this podcast so that it gets pushed out to help more women, to really build our movement, to really build our community. So we're not doing this alone. This is one of the loneliest journeys in the whole world, not just TTC, but into motherhood as well. And we are fucking changing that. We are taking charge of this. We are taking this back. And I want these words. I want this podcast. I want this vision for what this could look and feel like as you step back into your power. I want that out in front of more women. I want that in women's ears instead of all of this shit that we've been told for so long. So if you have found that this has created a huge shift in you here today, if you plan on going to do this, please leave a review for this podcast. It helps to push it out to people. I love you so, so much. You've got this, mama, and I've got you. And I will see you next time, beautiful baby maker. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, if it created a shift for you or gave you permission to look at your journey to motherhood in a new way, if it made you feel lighter, anything like that, be sure to leave me a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff flowing your way, mama. And if you don't already follow me on social media, come grab the extra manifesty vibes over on TikTok, where you'll find me as @manifestingmotherhood, or visiting my website at ohimama.com. I love you so big, mama, and cannot wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and say yes to that life that baby cannot wait to come home to.